Hi guys, we're the Blackpackers.
Hiya.
We've spent 4 nights in the Cameron Highlands and we were just having a conversation about what we wish we knew before we came here, and we just thought we'd film it because it's going to help other people. Well, what then? We probably didn't do as much research into the Cameron Highlands as most people probably would, because I think a lot of people come here as like a standalone holiday to do a lot of trekking, hiking, and from what we've seen, a lot of people are a lot more geared up or prepared than we were. We're obviously doing a whole trip around Southeast Asia, so we've got a lot of shorts, a lot of t-shirts, not much else,
Not
really.
much like trespass shoes and cargo pants.
But anyway, we thought it would help if we filmed some things that we wish we knew before we came. So, number 1, we wish we knew how much it rained. It does not stop raining here.
Apart from now.
We have been here for 4 days, and I think in those 4 days we've had maybe 10 hours of dry.
Maybe.
Would you say that's fair? Maybe like 3 hours a day?
Yeah, maybe.
We are here in, what's the month? December. So we are like peak monsoon wet season. But we were speaking to a guide and he said during the wet season it rains every day, which we've experienced. But even during the dry season, it still rains 3 times a week, did he say? 3 or 4 times a week. We have like thin kugals that go in a bag, and they've actually been okay, haven't they?
Apart from on the bike, I might have been wearing a sandwich bag. It went completely through me there. It rains a lot in the afternoon, so it's probably better if you're going to do stuff, do it in the morning. Have your downtime in the afternoon when it's raining, because if you're sort of reading in the morning, relaxing, no, it will be nice, but you probably will be doing that again in the afternoon and evening, so just get it done in the morning. It
does rain generally from about 2 p.m. and then it doesn't really stop until the next day. There's kind of like showers, it does stop for a few minutes, but pretty much it just rains then all evening, all afternoon. So definitely get things done in the morning.
Probably pack some shoes that can get wet. Like I had Converse and Birkenstocks and wore them both out and they got soaked, and because it's so wet here, they don't really dry. So I think I wore Converse 3 days ago and they got soaked in the rain, and they're just about drying now. So maybe pack some shoes that you don't mind getting wet and can get wet. I had to buy some fake Crocs. I think they're called alligators from a shop. They're only about £2, but I did the trek in them as well, so they were easy to clean. And actually probably the best shoes for a trek, to be honest, the one we did.
It was actually better because at the end of the trek we could wash our feet and our Crocs in the river, whereas everyone else had big walking boots that they just had to get really muddy and wet, and they probably still aren't dry now.
No. Losers. Number 2. You might hear rumours that getting a motorbike is quite tough to get and also difficult to ride. I'm not massively experienced in it, but it was pretty easy to hire from the hotel. They do require a driving licence and passport, as most places do. And the roads aren't really that difficult, to be honest, from what I experienced. They're probably the nicest roads I've driven on in Southeast Asia. Just take the corners slow.
Number 3, we were quite surprised as well how close everything is together. So there's 2 towns in the Cameron Highlands, 2 main towns, Tanarata and Brinchang. And most people were saying Tanarata, which is where we're staying, is the best place to stay because there's more hostels, more restaurants, there's a bit more going on. But Brinchang is closer to most of the attractions that you're going to want to go to. But between Tanarata and Brinchang, it's only about an 8-minute drive. So basically there's just one long road and everything is just dotted off that road. We drove up to the furthest place away from where we were staying that we wanted to go to, which was the bee and strawberry farm. And then we just worked our way back down. So we drove up there, which was about 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And then went to the Cameron Flora Park, the farmer's market, and then to the Big Red Strawberry Farm, which is then only about a 6-minute drive away from here. So then you basically just drive up and then drive all the way down, and it's just on one road.
Number 4, eat local. I know you probably read that everywhere, as we do in Lonely Planet books, but there's quite a lot of Western places here, and they're a load of really. They're very overpriced and just weird tasting food. I had a pizza and it tasted like just cheese on toast.
We don't mind paying a little bit extra for Western food when we fancy it. When it's not that great, it's a bit annoying.
It's a bit disheartening, especially when like you choose it. As like you've decided to choose that restaurant.
Don't, because you know I feel really bad about
that's
it.
okay.
I do have to recommend a place though that we've been to 4 times or 5 times in the 4 days that we've been here. It's called Yongten Cafe. I think we did a short on it actually, and it's run by this really lovely older couple who are deaf, so you have to tell them what you want to eat by writing it down or pointing or whatever, but they are the most friendly, welcoming, lovely, hospitable couple I've ever met, and we just loved eating there so much, and the food is amazing as well and so cheap.
They gave us a big hug when we left, when we said we were going today.
They did. We popped in to say goodbye.
Number 5, book on a tour that takes you to the Mossy Forest and get a text the day before that changes it to Coral Hill. Yeah, we're supposed to be going to the Mossy Forest on a bit of a half-day tour, and they basically said the road's closed for 3 days, which it was. You're going to have to go up Coral Hill, which is basically like a 45-minute to an hour trek up there. And you can see the Mossy Forest, but you just can't see like the little TikTok bridge that people walk across. You do get to see it from another angle, and you have to trek up there, which is actually quite rewarding, and it was a really fun trek. I'm pretty sure if you're fit enough to walk for 2 hours on flat roads, you'd probably be fit enough to walk up there for 45 minutes. It wasn't hard at all, really.
I mean, we managed to do it in our Crocs.
Yeah.
So in the Mossy Forest, there's just a boardwalk, and you have to stay on the boardwalk. You're not allowed to touch the moss, obviously, because of how long it takes to grow back and everything like that. So you just walk on a boardwalk and take some photos. Whereas at Coral Hill, it's a proper trek through the forest, and of course, still not touching the moss, but it's like right next to you, really like walking really through nature, really.
We probably would have done the Mossy Forest if we could.
Yeah.
But if looking back on it, I probably wouldn't change it.
No, I think the only thing that Coral Hill doesn't have that the Mossy Forest does is that Mossy Forest is up higher, so you get the clouds coming down where you can get all the cool pictures.
Overall, I liked the Cameron Highlands. I didn't love it, but
I really liked it here.
you stay here, then I'll go.
The Tanah Rata gives me a real ski resort feel with all the different restaurants, cafes. There's a couple of cool bars as well.
You've been skiing?
If you watch our vlog, you'll be able to see what we got up to while we were here, but I think we squeezed in everything that we wanted to do. Probably don't need 4 nights here, to be honest. I think most people do 2 or 3, or you can even do a day trip from Kuala Lumpur.
Hopefully these 5 things helped you or bored you to death. Either or, it doesn't matter.
We need to work on our outro.